Good morning, student. Today we are going to discuss on the organ of Corti and the mechanism of hearing. Myself, Dr. Sabia Khan, Associate Professor, Samrat Prithviraj Chauhan, Government College, Ajmer. Dear students, in a previous lecture we have read about the anatomy of ear, in which I have explained you the external ear, the middle ear and the internal ear. In the internal ear, the three canals are found. Internal ear, that is the cochlea, and it is a spirally coiled like snail. We have read in the previous lecture. Now today I am going to explain you about the organ of Corti. As we know that cochlea, it is a coiled portion of the membranous labyrinth of the internal ear, and it is composed of three canals. Here in the diagram you can see very well that is the upper one is a scala vestibuli, the middle is the scala media or the cochlear duct, and the third one is the scala tympani. Here you can see in the diagram very well. So it is made up of three canals. The middle one, it is also called as scala media or cochlear duct. In both these, the scala vestibuli and the scala tympani, the fluid present is the perilymph, while the fluid which is present in scala media is endolymph. And here in the scala media only, this organ of Corti is formed. It is a auditory organ, very important. And this organ of Corti, it is what it is? It is a specialized sensory epithelium, and that allows for the transduction of sound vibrations into neural signal. That means it is transforming these sound into neural signal. So it is very important. Who discovered organ of Corti? Organ of Corti was discovered by Alfonso Corti. Has the name given Corti. Let me tell you that here you can see in the diagram this, you can see very well this organ of Corti. It is resting on a membrane that is called as the basilar membrane. Here you can see the black one. It is a basilar membrane on which this organ of Corti it is located. And it here up on the upper side you can see these cells, these yellow and pink cells. These are the hair cells. Other are the supporting cell. On the upper part a pink layer, that is a tectorial membrane. Coming to the next diagram, here also you can see the how this cochlea, it is divided into three parts. That is the upper part is vestibular canal, the middle is the scala media or the cochlear duct, and third is the tympanic canal. And the blue structure here you can see is the organ of Corti. The whole brown is this is the temporal bone, and here this yellow one, these are the nerves. Then you can see the fluid, the blue color fluid, it is a perilymph, and here you see the auditory nerve and organ of Corti. So this very clear how these cochlea, it is having three canal. In the scala media or the cochlear duct is this organ of Corti. It's an auditory organ and it is very sensitive. Discovered by Alfonso Corti, has the name given Corti. Now I'll tell you the mechanism. This is the organ and they are composing of, as I told you, the hair cells, the supporting cell, that is the Hansen cells, the Dieter cells and all basal cells. These cells, they are present in the organ of Corti, and up on the upper part is the tectorial membrane and it itself rests on the basilar membrane. Now coming to the mechanism. Here you see this in the next diagram, the whole external pinna or the auricle, and here you see the sound waves. What happens when sound waves, they are coming from outside, they go through the external ear through pinna, they move into the external auditory matters, and from here it reaches to the tympanic membrane or the eardrum. Here you can see this pink color, the tympanic membrane, and now these sound waves, they are passing into the middle ear, that is the ear ossicles. As I told you in the previous lecture, there are three bones, that is the malleus, incus and step. This now from tympanic membrane, it is the vibration they are passing to the middle ear, and that means it is going to the malus, then the vibrations they are passed to the incus and the stapes. Now this stapes, it opens into the oval window of the cochlear duct, which is in the scala vestibuli. So when these are, so vibrations will pass into this through oval window into the scala vestibuli. And as I told you, the scala vestibuli and the scala tympani, both they contain the fluid called as a perilymph. So there will be vibration in perilymph also. These vibrations, they are transferred to this scala media, where the organ of Cochlea is there. You see in the next diagram, I will show you in organ of Cochlea. And it is composing of, here you see the outer hair cells, the inner hair cells, and these are the supporting cells. So when these vibrations they come into this endolymph, it will also vibrate. When endolymph vibrate, then what happens? This basilar membrane, it will also start vibrating. And these hair cells, they are situated on the basilar membrane. So what will happen? These stereocilia will come out from the hair cells. Vibration आएंगे तो hair cells movement होंगी, stereocilia will come out. And so these stereocilia, what they will do? They will move back and forth, and due to this the tectorial membrane, with means they are rubbing this tectorial membrane. Due to the movement of these stereocilia, they are putting pressure on the tectorial membrane. So what happens when they are, it will, these pressure and will pass to the, what happens to the afferent neurons which are situated below these hair cells, and these will be received by these, and due to which what happens, ion channels will open. Due to the beating of this stereocilia, the ion channels will open and the neurotransmitter will be released. This neurotransmitter will be released, and then what happens, this neurotransmitter bind to the receptors of the afferent neuron which are situated below the hair cell. Afferent neurons के जो receptors हैं उनसे this neurotransmitter will bind. So synapse will occur, causing depolarization of the neurons, and a nerve impulse will generate. And this nerve impulse, it is transmitted to the auditory cortex of the brain through auditory nerve, that is a cranial nerve 8. Cranial nerve 8, and it will give signals to the brain about the sound. So the brain, it will analyze the impulse, and we will hear the sound. Not only the sound, but we can judge the direction, the loudness, and the pitch of the sound. So whole this thing is happening. So mainly what is happening here, you can see that in these scala media, scala vestibuli and scala tympani, when air waves are coming, they are coming to the internal from external to middle ear, and in the middle ear what happens, it will amplify, these ossicles they amplify the sound. Natural when the sound is coming, tympanic membrane बड़ा है और उससे अंदर पेरिलिम्फ के में भी वाइब्रेशंस होने चाहिए, एंडोलिम्फ में भी होनी चाहिए, तो दैट मीन्स उसकी जो इंटेंसिटी वो बढ़नी चाहिए ना, how it has to increase. So how it will increase? These through a narrow passage, this oval window. So when something is coming from a broad area to a narrow passage, it will exert pressure, and due to this pressure, vibrations will reach to the perilymph. Vibration will be in perilymph, and these are transferred to this cochlear duct, scala media containing the endolymph. So there will be vibrations. So what happens due to these vibrations? These hair cells which are resting on this organ of Cochlea on basilar membrane, they will also vibrate. Stereocilia will be emitted out, and the neurons which are situated below there will be activated. How? Due to opening of the channels, and these signals they are transformed into sound through the cranial nerve 8. They are passed to the brain, and brain analyzes sound. So this is the mechanism of the sound, how it is happening. In the last, you can see the series of the events which are happening here, which I have explained you how this is happening, all the involvement, what are the various events which are happening here. So hope you have understood the organ of the Cochlea and the mechanism of the hearing. And in our next class, we are going to study about the next topic. If you have any difficulty, you can ask me on the comment box. Till then, goodbye. Thank you.